What is going on today, guys? Today is Tuesday. In the last video we had talked about getting the new drums for the Ranger turned on Monday or Tuesday. Today is Tuesday and they are already turned. I got home from work and kind of went over to my uncle's shop real fast because he had to leave. He had something to do. And imagine that, I forgot the camera. So that's already done. We just got them turned real quick to make them true and everything. Not everybody knows this actually, so we'll go over it here real quick. When you get new rotors, they don't actually come true, which means they don't come like completely flat. So like if you just get new rotors from the auto parts store or whatever, and you just slap them on at home, chances are in the next, depending on how much and how hard you use your brakes, give it a month, you'll probably feel a bit of a pulsation in the pedal. So what you're supposed to do is give them to somebody that has a brake lathe, and give it to them and they'll turn them to make sure they're completely true, and then you're good to go. It's so stupid. That's just how it is. So what it is, guys, is I'll go ahead, we'll do it with the big truck's new rotors here. So what it is these will go on to a machine, and pretty much there's just like a little triangle blade that mounts to the machine, and it cuts grooves. It cuts grooves in your rotor or your drum to make sure it's completely true and flat, so you don't have that pulsation issue. So really I don't have anything else going on today, because as I said, I hate rotor or drums. I hate their pain. I can never do it, and I don't want to do it because I get so mad. So I'll just wait till probably tomorrow. My uncle will come over and help me do these, so that'll be good. Alright guys, it is now Wednesday, and we're going to get ready. We're going to set everything up in here so everything is ready to rock and roll when my uncle gets here to help me do these brakes, because as I said before, I hate drum brakes. I hate them. I don't understand them. It's just too much stupid stuff. Some people it's like super easy. Yeah, no, not for me. I can't do it. So we're just gonna get everything set up here, pretty much. So everything's sitting there ready to rock and roll for when he gets here. Alright guys, so we got everything set out here. We have our new drum that was turned and painted, our new wheel cylinder, our hardware, which is like the springs and the caps, this here, that kind of stuff. This is your wheel cylinder. This is what failed. And actually you can see here the piston here, so if you guys remember, there was no more pad on this. So what happens is this hyperextended and it lost all brake fluid right up in here. So that's why I originally had lost brakes. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that. We're gonna replace everything in here, like I had said. Everything looks dry though as far as axle seals and stuff, so I'm not even gonna worry about that. And then, okay, so yeah, we have our hardware and we have our new shoes, and we're doing both sides. So literally almost pretty much everything besides bearings and races will be brand new in the rear end on this, and I'm not gonna mess with the bearings races because there's no play in the rear. So we got everything set up, and we're gonna go ahead and wait for him to get here. He should be here pretty soon, so I'll catch up with you guys when he gets here. He showed up and he's already giving me shit.
Flashlight.
I guess I was supposed to clean it up and put some PB Blast or WD-40 or something on it. You got my Milwaukee one?
Yeah.
Let me hold it for you too. So I guess we're gonna start back here on the back side where the brake line goes into the fitting, into the back side of the drum. It's already wanting to stick, so gonna be fun. Oh, that's perfect. She broke. That's mint. See how this is gonna go. So right now we're just taking the pins out that hold, what is it, for the brake shoes, isn't it? Yeah, we're taking the pins. There's pins that goes through the backing plate, and then there's springs and a cap on it, and it holds the brake shoes where they need to be. So we're just taking those apart right now, and then those will come off. And then it looks like there's a couple other linkages, and then you got your adjustment wheel cylinder. Kind of come apart in a mess just like that.
All your pedal feel comes from the rear brakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was from pressure.
Well, yeah, it is. It's
Oh,
pressure
shit.
building against your rear brake shoes. That's where the pedal feel, like in all my trucks.
Yeah.
You know how my pedal is right on top?
Yeah.
It's because the rear brakes, everything works in them here.
Huh.
Adjusters and all that shit. So the pedals always feel good.
So he asked me if I had gotten this new adjustment screw, and I didn't because I figured it just came in a hardware kit. But he thinks what happened is this is what adjusts your brake shoes, and he thinks it got all locked up and froze up. So it might take a couple more days, unless he's got something laying around to get this thing back on the ground. Oh well, rather do it right than half-ass though. Alright guys, so I had to get a new adjustment screw like I had showed you. Sounds like that is a part that made everything fall apart and explode. So we'll put almost everything back together besides that. We'll get the other side torn apart and almost back together besides that adjustment screw. And then the truck will just have to sit there until we get that adjustment screw. Is there a reason they have them small in the front and bigger in the back?
Because when the shoes go, when they expand,
Yeah.
they expand like this. They don't go like this.
Okay.
So as it rolls like this one has more surface area than this one, just because it contacts it more than this one does. That's why.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like that. You want to try to get the pin.
Let me hold the back of it.
Yeah.
I figure you know how to do this stuff with your eyes closed by now.
Pretty close.
Got it?
No.
Got it.
What is that one?
So dumb. So we've come across two things that I need that we don't have. The one was my fault, kinda, because I didn't really know what we needed, because I hate drum brakes and I don't do them. It was the self-adjustment screw and there's a brake shoe cable. I guess that normally comes in the hardware kit, but it didn't. So we're just gonna have to wait till we get that. There's really no point in keeping on doing this till we get those, because it's all gonna have to come right back apart to install the cables. Anyway, we would have been able to just kind of do almost all of it without the adjuster screw, but we really can't now. So we'll just have to wait until we get the rest of the parts. Oh my gosh, guys. This is like part freaking 374,000 of trying to get this thing done. Alright, maybe not that much, but a lot. This has been a disaster. Alright, so as y'all know, obviously we had parts that we thought we got but we didn't get, and then we got parts and they weren't the right parts. So for whatever reason, I ordered since this is a 9-inch rear brake setup, I ordered the 9-inch brake cables. They're not literally 9 inches long. I mean, they might be, but I got them for the 9-inch brake system setup, and I got them and they were way too long, so I had to get different ones from, I don't know where I got them. I got them from somewhere. It was either Federated or it was Advanced. I think it was Federated. I don't think it was Advanced. But anyway, so we got that. We finally got our new brake hose for, you know, going on top of the diff, because I broke it when I was trying to take it apart or take it off. Take the line, yeah, take the brake line off of the brake hose. So we got that. So I figured Rock Auto just kind of screwed up the brake cable whole situation, and that's actually what it was. I don't know if they just got boxed wrong or what, because I ended up buying another 9-inch set of brake cables, and they must have boxed it wrong, because here's the wrong one and here's the right ones. I know it's the right ones because this is the one that came off the truck and it's the same. So I don't know, it must have just gotten boxed wrong, guys. I don't know. Also, while my uncle was looking at the brakes on the passenger side here, he ended up saying that he saw a axle seal leak, and I see it now that I'm looking up close at it. You can see it's kind of wet. So in order to do an axle seal on this that we're going to be doing now, we have to take the rear diff cover off, because with these light duty trucks, it's not like the big heavy trucks where, you know, you got the bolts on the outside and you literally just pull the axle out of the housing. These trucks, they have little C-clips inside. I think that's a regular kind of half-ton light, you know, Ranger S10 type truck setup. So we're gonna start today. Before my uncle gets here, we're gonna go ahead and zip this rear diff cover off, and get that C-clip out, and then I'll catch up with you guys once we get that done. Alright, so we got the diff cover off here. Everything looks good inside. There's no wear marks or anything like that. It's really hard to see. I don't think you guys will be able to see. So there's your axle, the inside part of it. So what we're gonna have to do here is there's a C-clip on that. You can't see it yet though. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this bolt right here, and then we'll pull this pin out in the center, and then we'll push the axle from the outside in, and then we'll be able to pull the C-clip off of it. Alright guys, so we got everything apart. So you can see now, there's the axle. We already pulled the C-clip out and the center pin. This was an 8mm bolt. And all I did is I put the transmission in gear to bust it loose. Got it turned pretty much all the way out. You got to get it turned all the way out so it'll let this pin fall down. It'll just fall right through the diff. Then you're good to go. And push your axle back in. And then you can either use a magnet or do like I did and use needle nose pliers. And then the clip just pulls right off. So we'll go ahead and get the axle pulled out now and start getting the old seal out. Alright guys, so we had a little bit of a fight trying to get the original seal out that was blown, but we ended up getting it, so we're all good now. We put silicone around on the outside of the new seal, just to make sure it does stay extra sealed. And definitely be careful when you're putting these in, because you can tell, kind of beat mine up, but we should be okay as far as it staying sealed. So now we're gonna go ahead and get everything put back together. We're gonna put some diff fluid right here just to get everything lubed up and start putting everything back together. Alright guys, so I didn't really film any of it because we're trying to get all this wrapped up so we can get my uncle out of here so he can get home. So we got everything all wrapped up, everything inside the drums, the new line ran, the new hose ran. So for this hose, you have a clip on this back side that you can see right here, but that actually doesn't matter. There's a clip on the front side that matters. I don't know if you guys can see that. So that was a little bit of a fight to get that off because it was rusty. But once we got that off, you got to wiggle the hose out of that hole because you can't turn it because it's like a 6-point hose and it's a 6-point metal housing for it too. So you kind of just got to wiggle it, play with it and whatnot. I've been spraying the fitting with the PV Blaster the past couple days, knowing that we were going to be working on it, so we luckily didn't have any issues with getting the line separated from the hose, so that was pressure off of everything. So we got the new lines ran, got everything wrapped up in the drums. So right now we're letting the system bleed itself. Pretty much you just crack the fittings, and the fluid will pretty much just go down through the lines itself, because it's going to go, go down through the lines and go where there's a hole. So we're waiting for the fluid to get through the lines right now, and then I'll catch up with you guys once we get this all wrapped up, and we'll get the diff cover back on and everything like that, just so we can get him out of here. Alright guys, so we got all the rear brakes done. I didn't record any of it because we were trying to get him out of here. Feel bad keeping him for so long and helping out and shit. But anyway, so we got everything wrapped up here. We put the new hose on, and gotta take them vice grips off still. That's better. All right, so this hose, there's a clip on the back side. Don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's right here. And then so I had to pull that off of the old hose, and it was a little bit of a good time with it being kind of rusty. So we did that, and then pulled it out. We had to wiggle it a little bit, so it gave us a little bit of a challenge to get it out, but we did get it. And then once we got it out, I had to take a file and file down some of the sides some, just because of the rust, to get, so this new hose would go in nice and smooth. So we got that done, everything hooked up, tightened up, all the fittings are tight, got this bolted down, got all the brakes bled and everything. What we ended up doing is put fluid in the reservoir, and just one side at a time. We left a bleeder screw open, just waited till the fluid kind of dripped out a little bit. Then we went to the other side and did the same thing. Make sure you always keep a good amount of fluid in your reservoir when you're doing this, or you're going to put air all back through your lines. So then we did the same thing for this side, and that went good. And then once you get that for both sides, you go ahead and you do the regular bleeding method. So you'll have one guy on the bleeder screw with, to open and close it, and then you'll have one person in the driver's seat. So you'll do one pump, just pump it to the floor, he'll open it, the pedal will go to the floor, he'll close it, and then you let up, and you just keep going back and forth like that, till you get a good solid stream with no air in it, coming out on both sides. And then at that point, you should be good to go. So it's getting to be a little bit late. It's 8:36 right now. So tonight, I'm just going to leave the truck sit like this. I'm going to clean up my mess. That'll be it for tonight. And then I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow when we go to finish the diff. Alright guys, it is now Wednesday. The following day, after we got the rear brakes wrapped up on the truck and everything, I ended up getting lazy last night and not cleaning up like I had said I was going to, but that's alright, because we're going to use some of it today to get the rear put back together. So we're going to start out with getting this bolt right here tightened back up on the truck, and that's to hold that pin in so it keeps all the gears together and doesn't let everything come apart and make a big mess. And then once we get that bolt tightened back up, I'll have to see what size it is. I used an 8mm wrench to pull it off, but that was a little bit loose, so I'm thinking it's the standard size. So we'll go ahead and do that, and I'll let you guys know what size it is. Then once we do that, we'll go ahead and clean up the rear diff, make sure everything's all clean, and get ourselves a nice smooth clean surface to put silicone on so we can fill it up and not have any leaks. Alright guys, so we found the right size. It's a 5/16, so we're going to go ahead and tighten this up real fast. Alright guys, so now that we got that snugged up, we're going to go ahead and scrape all this stuff off, the old gasket or silicone, whatever it was, off of here, the axle itself, and off of the diff cover. So we can go ahead and put fresh silicone on it for a nice good seal, and then get this all tightened back up. Alright guys, so we got both areas cleaned up where we're going to be putting the silicone. We got this all nice and cleaned up for a good sealing area. And then we did the same thing with the diff cover. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and brake clean it so it has, you know, so there's no like oil or anything like that that'll screw up the seal. And then we'll go ahead and fill it up with diff fluid once we get the silicone on. Alright guys, so as you just saw, we got the diff cover back on. We're going to go ahead and wipe the excess silicone off that came out around, you know, how the diff cover squishes it. We're going to wipe the excess stuff off, and then we'll go ahead and get to filling the diff up. Alright guys, so we are ready to now put our gear oil, diff fluid, whatever you want to call it, in our diff. So what it is you have this little bolt here, I guess we'll call it, and it's a 3/8 drive. So what you do is you'll take your ratchet with an extension, your 3/8 drive ratchet with a 3/8 drive extension, and you put it in there and you pull it out. Just take your gear oil and you'll keep on filling it in there all the way until it starts to come out, just drizzle out of the hole, and then that's when you know you're good to go as far as the amount of fluid that you need. So we're going to go ahead and jump into doing that so we can get this thing back on the ground. Alright guys, so as you just saw, we got the truck back on the ground. Super happy about it. Our diff cover never leaked or anything, so that's a good thing that it sealed. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and torque the lug nuts. A lot of people just put the truck on the ground and torque them. And not that I've ever seen anybody have issues with it. But the way I was taught and the theory that it was explained to me made a whole lot more sense. I'm just real weird about lug nut torque specs and like kind of more important stuff torque specs. So what I do is I put it almost all the way on the ground, and then I torque it. That way there's not a bunch of weight on the wheel. So, you know, it could be kicked down a little bit and it'll torque, but your wheel isn't completely flat up against, you know, your mounting surface. So I've just always done it like that, and I've never had any issues, so I'm just going to continue to keep on doing it like that. So we're going to go ahead and get these torqued real quick, and then we'll go for a test drive. Alright guys, so we just got the wheels torqued, got everything wrapped up on it, so we are good to go and take it for a test drive. Alright guys, first test drive. Alright guys, so we just got back from the test drive. It stopped very well. I'm super happy, super impressed. I can't believe an old truck stops like that. I mean, it's literally like a new car. It's like as soon as you touch the pedal, it's like instant braking. It's so nice. I'm so happy with it. I am so happy to finally wrap up this video. It's been like 5 different tries of trying to get this truck done, and it just issue after issue after issue, but I guess that happens with old trucks, so it is what it is. But like I said, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get the floor cleaned up a little bit from where the truck was, and call it good after that for today. So thanks for sticking around, guys, and watching the video. I know I kind of bounced around a little bit. It got kind of tricky, but we got it done and everything works right. I might have one more video out before we do the whole color reveal for the big truck. I'm super excited for it. I've already seen the colors, and wow, these colors are freaking sick. I'm so excited just for all of it, for you guys to see it on the truck. I'm so stoked. Like I literally can't explain how excited I am about it. These are definitely some of the cooler colors I've seen on a truck before. So like I said, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Like I said, again, thank you guys for watching and sticking with me through it. We are getting there with the big truck. I'm gonna be trying to sell the Ranger here pretty soon. There's gonna be one truck show in Ohio, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and list it after that. So if you're interested in the truck, let me know. My Instagram is always at the end of the video, or you can even just message, hit me up in the comments, and we'll figure out a way to contact each other, no matter what it is. So if you guys haven't already, definitely like and subscribe. Probably 2 videos max before we get our stuff back from paint. They've already started to work on it, and they've got some okay headway on it. It took a little bit of time to find the right color that I wanted, so you guys are definitely gonna not want to miss that video. So like I said, if you guys haven't already subscribed, you're not gonna want to miss that. And thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys next time.